Hi, so today I will be discussing about the trend of history optional paper for 2023. जानने की कोशिश करते हैं कि what kind of trend was there in map, other questions of ancient India as well as medieval India किस तरीके से पूछा यूपीएससी ने. If we see the trend of last 4 to 5 years, the level of experimentation has increased and this is affecting the preparation level of the students. So time and again I have been helping them out कि कैसे पढ़ना चाहिए, किस तरीके से पढ़ना चाहिए, which are the most important topics, and let us try to understand all of this through these various case studies from the paper itself. So if we see the first part, map, तो देखो मैप में क्या होता है कि दो ही सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम्स हैं. वन, if you're not able to understand the keyword, then even if you know the place, you'll not be able to write. That is number one. And second, if the keyword is relatively easy but site नहीं पता है, दो सबसे बड़े प्रॉब्लम सही रहते हैं. So I have seen these kinds of keywords which were never used by UPSC before 2023, like the site of mother and child terracotta figure. Even though this site was easy, it was Kannauj. They could have even used the keyword of capital, but नहीं, परेशान तो करना है ना आप लोगों को. That's why this was used. Hoard of Gupta coin, site of botanical remains. आराम से ये भी लिख सकते थे agricultural remains. No, you have to make it more technical so that everybody in the paper they get a little bit stuck and it affects the performance of paper 1. So the first major trend in the map itself, please try to note it down. Even if you're starting your preparation or you have done 2-3 minutes, doesn't matter. हमें improve करना है and next year you have to perform better than what we have done so far. And even if you're starting new, कोशिश करो फर्स्ट टाइम में अच्छी रैंक लेके निकल जाए. Second, now they're asking those areas which are relatively very less known, like temples specifically for Surya. A Roman factory site was asked from Tamil Nadu, and even the site of Muvarkoli or the temple of Three. They are very less known sites. किसी को नहीं पता इनके बारे में. That's why attempting even 14 site was a very big, you can say, point of celebration in 2023. Many of my students were able to do so. But the only problem this year was the paper was affecting your decision making process because bouncers were coming in the question 1 itself. मैं पहला ही question है वहीं पे परेशान कर दिया आप लोगों को. And third very important thing which all of you have to remember, this political paper trend, okay, this started only in 2020. After that everybody started preparing in, so in 21 UPSC switched to physical map. In 22 it again went to political. तो हम सबको लगा 23 में physical आएगा. Did not happen. So that's why what is very important, even the scaling was not very good in this specific paper. That's why identification of site became very difficult. So you have to be ready for this unknown. This is the trend number one, how the map paper is changing. 5 to 6 sites, they were very difficult because of the keyword or because of being less known. These are the things which we, and finally you have to practice the map paper on the political map itself. So please इन चीज़ों का ध्यान रखिए. Now let us try to understand the other trend, the remaining 9 questions. What kind of questions have come from ancient India? So if I see debate specific questions have continued, they are the real lifeblood of, you can say, history. Because if historiography is not being asked in the optional, तो कहाँ पूछेंगे? GS में तो आता नहीं है. That's why they asked question on Neolithic age. This question, even though it was predicted very well by me, but still for an average student writing a very good answer of these types of questions remains a challenge. I'm always talking about from टॉपर पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, नॉट फ्रॉम 250 240 मार्क्स पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू. उससे कोई फर्क पड़ता नहीं है. देखो ना तो उससे सिलेक्शन होता है, ना नीदर इज गोइंग टू मेक एनी डिफरेंस टू योर फाइनल स्कोर. द इंडस सरस्वती कल्चरल जोन exhibited both homogeneity as well as diversity. Again a debate specific question. Some say there was homogenization, some say there was diversity. And finally they have asked a question overall on Vedic period. They've asked that with the help of literature, with the help of archaeological sources, as well as the study of languages, how do you see the Aryan problem in Indian history? So if we see these 3 questions, even though they were from the mainstay part of our syllabus, but at the same time, writing answers was not that much easy. All right, so make sure कि debate specific questions को आपको अच्छे से prepare करना पड़ेगा. Next, subaltern approach. What was the status of women? What was the status of peasantry? What was the status of laborers during ancient medieval period? These kinds of questions you have to prepare because this question has again come. Question number 3C about the status of women, and they have compared the status during Gupta period and the pre-Gupta period. Next we see cultural history, question on Sangam literature, question on religious cult, even on the importance of European paintings, okay, and what kind of significance do we see on the Mughal miniature painting. So cultural history questions have come a lot in this part. Then early medieval period, question on feudalism, question on the temple architecture from south part of India, which again belongs to the early medieval period. These questions have continued. One very drastic change in the trend in medieval India specifically, which I have seen, number of questions from 18th century. See the number of questions, the policy of the Mughals towards the Marathas and how it led to their downfall, or Deccani ulcer in short. Then Hyder Ali and comparison with Tipu Sultan. Then finally the rise of Sikhs under Ranjit Singh, and even the question of economy in 18th century, which has been labeled as a dark age by the British. But if we go into the analysis of this, the picture is always going to be divergent from this viewpoint. So 4 questions I have never seen. I have given so many mains, 6 mains, you get 2 selection, but I have never seen 4 questions, one whole question being asked from 18th century and one more questions. Total 4 questions were there. It means you could not escape 18th century this time around. And finally, some random questions like Nurja. It is topic which is mentioned in our syllabus, like Dara Shikoh, etc. Many of these topics are in the syllabus, but normally UPSC doesn't ask from there. This year in the test series, I predicted this question, and eventually I was very happy when I saw it in the exam itself. And finally, some of the straightforward questions which have continued. One question on Alauddin Khilji, one question on Akbar, and one question on any of the source. Like here it was asked on Al-Biruni. So these are the questions which have continued. But the major trend that I have seen in this specific part, please try to understand the method of map is going to change drastically for the next few years. Even debate you have to prepare, early medieval period, 18th century, cultural history. If you wish to score 140, 150, 160, I scored 168 marks in paper 1 in 2018. So if you want to get the highest score in paper 1, you have to capture this trend. This video is going to be very wonderful for you. In every 1 month, एक बार इसको देख लो, at least your preparation for history optional is going to stay on course. Because if you're not going to catch the trend, eventually अच्छे marks नहीं आने वाले. You may get 250, 260 marks, but that doesn't lead to selection. Alright, so that's why in order to help all of you to understand the trend, etc., I'm coming up with a 7-day series known as History Training Series. In these specific series or session, whatever you call it, so I'm going to make you understand how you should prepare map, the paper 1, paper 2 overall. So there will be 3 strategy classes for map, paper 1 overall, as well as paper 2. And then there will be 4 master class for ancient India, medieval, modern world, in which we'll discuss about the syllabus, how to prepare, etc., etc., all the questions related to book list, etc. All of this will be covered in these 7 sessions. Look, it is very important to start on the right foot. Okay, if you're not going to start in the right manner, eventually what is going to happen? You're going to work hard, but if your direction is lacking, again you will not get marks. And it right now, when prelims is becoming so unpredictable, hardly 1-2% students are writing mains every year. So you have to make sure you make it count. So do join me in this 7th session. For joining me, you have to register in the form. Okay, you'll be getting a screening call also, and then eventually you're going to be discussed. All the strategic documents which are going to come along with these videos will be shared with you along with this. All right, so make sure if you want to score very high in history optional, then please see these sessions, register in the form, get the documents. All right, in the last few years we have been able to produce rank 1. Last year we got so many toppers in the top 100, like Mukul, he scored 295 marks. This is my mark sheet of 2018. I got 324 marks. Every year we are getting one or the other topper from our institute. So make sure, in order to get the best understanding of history optional, you stay subscribed to our YouTube channel. जो भी important videos आते हैं उनको देखना शुरू करो, so that एक level पे understanding बन जाएगी. And देखो, पूरा 100% syllabus कभी भी काम का नहीं होता है. There is 50 to 60% of the syllabus from where maximum number of questions are going to come in the mains examination in the history optional. And you can get that kind of an understanding only when somebody experienced, who has faced this examination multiple times and who has come out with flying colors, is can help you there. So I'll be one of them. All right. So this is how the score of history of the students has been moved over the years, and every year, okay, students have been able to get 295, 300 marks आ जाते हैं आराम से. बस आपकी स्ट्रेटजी ठीक होनी चाहिए. Your preparation material should also be very good. If you have any specific kind of doubt with respect to general studies, history optional, civil services preparation in general, you can call on these numbers and get registered your query. You can even get a mentorship session from various mentors at our institute. You can subscribe to our channel so that you can get all the good content with respect to civil services in the single place. Alright, so all the very best. I'll see you in the classes, and please make sure you take note of these important discussions that we are going to have so that you can redefine your preparation and eventually get a very good rank. So for that, just keep working and stay in the course. All the very best.